Hello, my name is Jeronimo Martinez, and today I'm going to be showing you what is solar energy, how can you use it as a renewable energy source, and how can you improve your living by using it with solar panels. Solar energy is energy that comes from the sun. Every day, the sun radiates a huge amount of energy. In 1 second, the sun generates more energy than the one we have used since the beginning of times. Where does it all come from, you might ask? Well, it comes from the sun itself. The sun generates energy by nuclear fusion. Then you might ask again, what is nuclear fusion? Nuclear fusion is a process where the sun's extremely high pressure and heat cause hydrogen atoms to come apart and their nuclei to bond. Four hydrogen atoms fuse to make one helium atom. But the helium atom weighs less than four nuclei that combine to form it, so some matter is lost during nuclear fusion. The lost matter is emitted into space as radiant energy. That is what solar energy is. The loss of mass in the nuclear fusion of four hydrogen atoms to become one, sorry, not four hydrogen atoms, four hydrogen nuclei to become one helium atom. Now we're going to see the requirements for the solar panels to work. The effect of the solar panels are based on the temperature, well, are measured by the temperature that is between 25 degrees Celsius and 50, depending on the radiance of the sun available in that place. Solar panels or photovoltaic cells are specified at a normal operating cell temperature of 25 degrees Celsius at 1,000 watts per meter squared average. Most of these conditions are based on old homes, mainly because of the use of material. Some of the conditions requested by companies in order to install the panels are that considering the state of the roof you hope to install solar panels on, you need to take this in consideration because it is important to know if the roof can support the panel's weight. Homes are known for being wasteful. Like homes usually generate a lot of waste. So you might need to take the time and have a vitality review done before purchasing the solar panels. The purpose behind this is to ensure that your home isn't requiring more vitality to warm, cool, and power your daily life. So by this, it means that you need to check if your house is viable to use the solar panels. If you don't need more energy than the solar panels generate, or if you don't generate or use an exuberant amount depending on how much panels you want to use. The appearance of photovoltaic cells is in more established homes because it may demolish the design plan of the house. So if you have a really pretty design on your house and you want to put the photovoltaic cells or the solar panels, it might ruin it. But numerous organizations around the globe offer numerous ways that you can introduce solar panels to an old house. So the mixing of new technologies and old houses, it is a choice. Now to what we wanted to see. In order to install the solar panels in your house, there are more simple and recommended items you need for this process of installation or further progress to make things work. So the materials you're going to need are the solar panel itself, an inverter, which is a mechanism that converts the DC or direct current into AC, alternating current, that is the electricity that homes require. A racking. The racking is where you mount the solar panels. Performance monitoring, which is like a box that checks how efficient are your solar panels and how much energy they are creating. And also, this is optional. You can use storage, which is batteries that you can install. So if there is a, I don't know, if there is a power out and in your area with the solar batteries, you can power your house instead of relying on the electricity in your town to be like pumped through to your house. Okay, so now we're going to move on to number three. Number three, in this case, we're going to talk about Victor Tiburcio's house because his house is the one that uses more electricity. In Victor House, the solar radiance stands at 140 kilowatts monthly in average, which is also the average in all of Monterrey. The solar radiance affects different in many different cities. For example, in Cancun, the monthly kilowatt average is 171.4 kilowatts per month, which is way higher than Monterrey's. This being the case, London, which has a very low kilowatt in comparison to Mexico, with 83.7 kilowatts per month, it's really like drastic the change. Here in Monterrey we generate a 140 and London generates 83.7, but that's because of the weather. Victor's house could also sustain the panels because of the house's hefty structure and materials it's made out of. Yeah, the aesthetics could be damaged by the panels because the house is a very colonial vintage look, but the roof wouldn't be a problem. They would have to the roof would be a problem. They would have to level the roof out with wood, cement, or sand, or install some high supporting feet onto the panels so that they don't lay irregularly on the roof. So now we move on to number four, which is the pricing of the panels. In Mexico, solar panels have different prices depending on how much or how many you want to buy. The minimum, it's two solar panels. They go for 14,224 pesos, which include the racking, the converter, the solar panel itself, with everything to set it up. Both panels can hold up to 630 watts. And the more you have, the more you can hold. For two panels, it takes a space of around 3.07 meters by 1.65 meters, which gives out to 2.53 square meters per panel. But if you take more, you add 3 meters to the length. Every panel gives around 94.5 kilowatts by monthly. So for the household with the biggest energy usage, which is Victor Tiburcio's, it will need about 26 solar panels, which is about, let me do the calculations. So if we're talking about 26 solar panels, then we multiply it by, no, first we divide it by 2. 26 divided by 2 gives us 13, and then we multiply it by the 14,224, which is about 184,912 pesos to set up his 26 solar panels. Okay, so now we move on to number 5. In number 5, we're going to check how much panels and how much would it cost to cover our most electricity using house in our team, which in this case, as I said before, is Victor's Tiburcio's house. So in Victor's house, came in at a, what is it? At 36,000 kilowatts yearly. To cover this amount of energy, we consider that the month that used the most energy should be used as the number of kilowatts needed to be covered by the panels, so that if they ever get to use that number of kilowatts, they will have no problem. The biggest amount of kilowatts used in a year came in at 2,078 kilowatts monthly. So the panels, for them to be able to produce that amount of power, if a panel produces 189 bi-monthly and 94.5 monthly, we would need around 44 solar panels or 22 pairs. And if the pair of panel cost 16,955 pesos, it will cost Victor a total of 373,010 Mexican pesos. Okay, so now we move on to the number 6. Taking in consideration our investment analysis, we can say that a solar system installation in our houses or companies can make a great change economically and ecologically. In comparison with our investment analysis, having solar panels can reduce the cost of energy consumed to a minimum. Because even if you have solar panels, according to Geologic Mexico, says energy increments between 6% and 9% annually. Meanwhile, solar panels will stay at a minimum price level thanks to their 30-year duration, even if you live in rural areas far from the limits of energy. Solar energy still stays cheaper in comparison with diesel generators for thousands. Taking in consideration this energy basis, a solar system could prevent global warming as we use clean energy. Meanwhile, other companies like CFE use fossil fuels, helping this big problem we have nowadays. Finally, we should take advantage of this solar energy because it's one of the safest and most profitable investments that exists. Solar panels also increase the value of the property where they are installed. So, in the future, we don't know if fossil fuels will have an end. Taking part of this renewable and unlimited energy source is a movement we should all start thinking about it. We should all start using it to improve our life, to improve our earth, and to lengthen the life of earth.